Hi, my name is Fernando Flores, and I'll continue this journey about hospital malpractices, with my next video. Oh wow, this is a very nice area, got a nice view. So this is my story about in this video, okay. So this is Carolina Street and 22nd Street. Okay, so it's kind of weird how the city is built like here. So there is a Carolina Street, it splits kind of like in two over there, you know, and then that will split in two over there, and there is the fire department over there, so the fire truck is coming. Okay, so after the city was rebuilt, there was like a lot of issues and a lot of difficulties and a lot of obstacles, uh, constructing the city and then rebuilding it. It was even more challenging. Now, there were parts of the city that it would take a lot of community effort, and it took people to actually put money out of their own pocket, So there is this wall right here. Okay, there is this wall right here. Okay, this wall. So you see the wall, and the other houses are in the other side, So it's a special wall, anti-seismic, just in case you have an earthquake, it doesn't uh, it doesn't really the earthquake won't cause a landslide or a rock slide, and then it would put the houses at risk, So they have to make sure, the wall is there, just in case, And actually, the city didn't want to do the wall, because the city actually claimed that there was no danger, So it was a bunch of unnecessary money we spent on a wall, But the residents around, thought differently. Thought that they had to make sure that there won't be no landslide or rock slide during the earthquake, if that in case that occurred. So they make the wall, like all residents got together and made the wall, And they look at they look at the location of the wall, They look at the location of the wall, So, okay, now then the city, like actually kind of like back down, like and decide to spend some money, out of the taxes we pay and doing the stairs, like, in the stairs, So the city built up to this line, up to this line, right here. So the sidewalk there is unnecessary. So that's why the city didn't want to build no more than this line right here. So up to the stairs, And back then, cars used to park here at 90 degrees angle, you know. So basically, you know, this piece of sidewalk right here, I'm sitting on, you know, is out of jurisdiction of all authorities. And this is a sidewalk that is made out of people's own money. So people have to work and pay taxes out of the money they make working. And on top of that, after taxes, they spend money and effort and work, doing this, So they actually got to the city, together, and they actually officially, like was declared that this piece of sidewalk right here, it was made for people that are running away from injustices, So the location, is very strategically, So actually, the law of not that prohibits people from setting up camps and tents, and lodging, illegal lodging, doesn't really have any effect on this part of the city. This sidewalk is out of that question. It's out of that law. Because when it was built, it was officially, and everybody agreed that this it won't be part of the city's, very unfair laws and regulations and practices, But over time, that was long time ago, over 100 years after, so it's been over 100 years now. That's really has completely forgotten that story. It was about this piece of the sidewalk here, Uh, so I was setting up a tent, here. Uh, uh, on then, sometime, now and then, and I actually been kicked out, by the police here, uh, but then, like I was placed on a navigation, and I was like, I've been like fighting these for a long time, so that's why, I had the need to ask the White House and the President of the United States of America to help me on this because I've been fighting this for a long time and this is just not fair. Thank you.